But you went, oh, what else can I do if I can do this?
It's all about releasing it all.
Whoa, look at that.
That's the worst part. So
What's life like now, apart from that you're sleeping on your
It
chest?
doesn't matter how much I sit there worrying.
Did you consciously know what your root cause? Okay, Sam. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for agreeing to answer these few questions, and it's just wonderful that you're here. So thank you very much. The first question I'd like to ask you is, what did you want my help to overcome?
I wanted your help to overcome my drinking. I was drinking alcohol every night, and I felt like I was addicted to it. I felt like I was an alcoholic. I always had to make sure there was alcohol in the house, and I would get really annoyed if somebody drank my wine.
Mm-hmm. So what was life like living with that issue?
I felt bloated all the time. I felt that it was against everything that I teach, and it made me feel like a hypocrite. Mm-hmm. It seemed like my whole life revolved around it being 5 o'clock, which was my time I could pour a glass of wine, because it felt that was the normal thing to do. So I was drinking, but at weekends that would perhaps be 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And if I was on holiday, it would be probably 1 o'clock that I would start drinking. I felt that drinking helped me to cope with the rest of the day. I needed something to help me just function for the rest of the day, and I couldn't function properly without it. But then after I drunk the following morning, I would always feel guilty and annoyed, and often very bloated with a bad head.
Thank you for sharing that. What had you tried before working with me?
I had tried different types of counselling, like therapy, body dynamic therapy, drink-wise. I even went to AA, but only for a very short time, because when I went there, I just felt that it wasn't the right place to be. I didn't feel it just didn't feel right to me. I just thought, this is not who I am. Not that I was judging anything. I try things like dry January, and I probably last less than 2 days. So, and each time I tried something, it seemed that the problem got worse. But my feeling about the problem was, it's okay. It's okay. It's only wine. And then the doctor saying that my blood pressure was too high, and that I needed to. I'd always tell lies to the doctor how much I drank. But most of the time I would tell lies. I would say I did 14 units, just because that's what you're allowed. When it was like probably 3 times that amount, if not 4 times most of the time.
So how many hours or many time have you
I was thinking about it, probably 15 years of different types of therapy, not always focused on my drinking. Some of it was bereavement counselling, but whatever happened in my life, it was that the only way I could get through it was to drink more. So any traumatic event, like somebody dying, anything would just, it seemed like anything was an idea that if something bad happened, I needed to drink. If something good happened, I needed to celebrate. Drink was behind everything I did. So I worked out with different types of therapy. I probably, and I cut down sometimes, I probably was over 200 hours in therapy, and I probably spent in excess of £8,000. It's probably more than that, because you think an hour, 40 odd quid an hour, and then now it's even more. So over the years, I would do one type of therapy at least once a month, as well as other stuff I tried, like retreats, going on retreats. I thought if I was on a retreat, I wouldn't be able to drink, but I would still go out and get a bottle of wine and leave it in my room. So it never worked.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So why did you decide to work with me, Sam? And what was that experience like working with me?
I felt like I was running out of options, and I'd seen you on Facebook, and I knew somebody who had worked with you. Yeah, I think that was amazing. I knew somebody who'd worked with you. I'd seen you on Facebook, and that you spoke about getting to the root cause, where lots of the other therapists that I'd been to never seemed to think alcohol was a problem. There was something else that was a problem, and alcohol just was not an issue, and I shouldn't worry about it. So I felt that you would get to the root cause, which we did on our first session, and I was amazed that the root cause sort of started way back before I even thought, that when I was a little girl. And none of the other therapists went anywhere near back like that. They sort of stopped when I was they believed it started when I was about 17, but it started, and I think we found it started a long while before that. Even though I wasn't drinking every day, the feeling had been set inside me. What alcohol makes you feel like, has been set many years ago.
Yeah, and that's often the case. And it's just beautiful when you work with your subconscious mind, because I don't need to second guess it. You already know, but you don't know because it's in your subconscious. It's below conscious level. And it's just, that's what's so beautiful and different about this, because it's about you getting back to your personal root cause. I just guide you there. And it's a really lovely journey, actually, of self-discovery, wouldn't you say? Because it's finding out, like you said, there's no way I'd have pieced that together on my own.
No, definitely. I never even, in the first session, we ended up, I was a young 7-year-old-ish girl, at Christmas time, just tasting all the different coloured, like Africa and the different pretty coloured bottles, and that instant lovely warm feeling and sweet feeling that they gave me. And I think, even though I didn't know it then, that became something that I think, well, this makes you feel nice. Yeah, and so when as I got older and life got more traumatic, it was, I know what's going to make me feel nice. I know what's going to make me feel better. I know what's going to make me be able to finish the rest of the day. So yeah, I never would have got there, I don't think.
No, it's just lovely when you, that's the beauty of it. You don't have to know what your root cause is before we work together, because your subconscious mind absolutely knows. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. So how many sessions did we have together? Can you remember?
We had the first 2-hour plus session and follow-up sessions. And that first session, after the first session, I just didn't drink after that. I didn't drink after that night. And I was astonished how easy it was not to have a drink. I really was. And it was like, and even though I had 2 follow-up sessions, it was like over 3 months that I just completely stopped. And I think I realised that at that point that that alcohol was no longer controlling me. That I somehow had got this, I don't know, tool that suddenly I didn't need to drink. After all these years of drinking, I didn't need to drink, and that's 3 months. And it was only a meal out with my husband for his birthday that I thought, oh, I'll have a glass of Prosecco. And I think that sort of sent me into a spiral of, oh my God, here we go again. You know, I've got to drink again. But since then, and I didn't start drinking every day. I just had a glass of Prosecco, bought the little bottles of Prosecco and had one at weekends. But that gradually grew to more. But I think that was because my conscious mind was telling me, come on, that you know this works. You know you're going to feel better if you drink wine. So I then contacted you again, and we had another session. I think that just reinforced for me that alcohol was not, it was helping me with other traits. It was helping me with my the need to make everything perfect. And so I think from there on, it didn't feel the same. It didn't feel that I had to go and buy a bottle of wine. I had to have a bottle of wine in the house, but I could feel myself slipping. So I think having that other session made me feel like that if I'm tired, don't have a glass of wine, stop doing what you're doing and sit down, you know. And it was just that simple. It's like, you know, I don't need to make sure everything is in its place, everything is perfect. Just stop what you're doing and sit down. Don't get a glass of wine just so you can carry on. So I think that they're the tools that I learned, and now I recognise the signs. I recognise the signs that, okay, might get overwhelmed today because, you know, it's still only 3 o'clock and I've got this and this to do. And now instead of thinking, right, I'll have a glass of wine, that'll help me, I'll have 2 glasses of wine, I can keep going. I'll just say, right, okay, I need to do this, but the rest can wait till tomorrow. And I think I've learned now that I can control it better by giving up my perfectionism.
Yeah, exactly. That was the layer, wasn't it? Not being having to keep going, having to be doing all the time, not giving yourself permission was a difficult thing to not carry on. So we released that as well. So it wasn't just about the alcohol. There was other things, other patterns that were coming up, wasn't it? That we were able to release as well. So I think it was just 6 sessions in total, Sam, wasn't it? That was all it was, just 6 sessions.
It was 6 sessions, and like you say, it was like once the alcohol was out of the way, then the other things that we unpeeled, the layers, was like the feeling like. As a little girl, you know, I never quite was good enough. And so the perfectionism came in. You know, if I make some food and it's not perfect, then I'm sorry, but nobody's going to eat it. I'm going to start again. And it was like, rather than just saying, that's how it is. So, yeah, I think unlayering them other little bits, well, not little bits, big bits really, in my life, that I've been hidden by my drinking, and I'm still working on the control that I need to make everything around me like in its right place. Everybody doing what they should be doing, so I feel safe. And I think I'm still working on that control, but at least I know what it is.
At least you know what. So you broke up. At least you know.
I know that it's not that I need to control everything. I just need to let it go and let things happen. Like me thinking I can fix everybody and everything.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
not having the need to control everybody and everything. Because the only thing we can really control are our own thoughts and our own action, and not the out there. So that's really wonderful, and you can see why, when you look back, why that became into being, because it didn't feel safe potentially. You've got to control all the adults in your life as well, because when you were little, it's that kind of thing, isn't it? When you look and see and think, oh, I can see why it wasn't safe then, but that's not how I am now. I don't even live with those people potentially. It's great, isn't it? So what's life like now after working with me, Sam?
I would say I feel more open. I feel more relaxed about just everything, daily life. I feel like I haven't got to make sure everybody's happy. If they're not happy, then I'm sorry, but there's not a lot I can do about it. And that was years of trying to make everybody happy and everybody safe. It was like, that's gone. And I'm here, and I just say, I'm here. If you want to pop around for a cup of tea, I'm here. I'm a good listener, but I can't fix it. I would say that is and the thing of like not having to check that I've got a bottle of wine in the fridge at 3:00 because it's nearly 5. Not getting annoyed when my husband say, "Can I have a glass of wine?" No, that's mine. It was so protective of it. If you want a drink, go and buy some. It was really like.
The sound's gone again. The sound's just gone again.
Oh,
that's better. Say that again.
It's the not having check that there's wine in the house. Not getting annoyed when Rob says to me, "Can I have a glass of wine?" And I say, "No, that's mine. You have to go." It's like I was possessive of it. It's like if you want a drink, go and fetch one, but I don't need one. He's been quite long. He's not even asked why I'm really. It's life is more relaxed. That's what I would say, more relaxed.
That's wonderful. Yeah, not having. You did break up a bit, but you said that it's not having to be possessive about the wine in the fridge, checking on at 3:00 in the afternoon that you've got some for 5:00. That's what you said, wasn't it? Yeah. That's wonderful that you've got the freedom to just live the life that you want. So there's some people listening, Sam, that might be nervous about investing in themselves, or may never have invested in themselves before. They might be sitting on the fence. What would you say to that person?
I would just say, just do it. I feel so much better about myself just because I'm now in control of my life. And I just think if things got tough and things don't always, I had a bit of a lapse after the first session. Ray, you were there, and I just felt that you've got my back, and we were going to sort this out. Okay, had a bit of a lapse for whatever reason, but you wasn't saying, "Well, I'm sorry, but it's done. I can't help you anymore." We just tried to fix it.
No, it's just a layer. That's all. It's nothing. It can't be sorted. It's just a layer within a layer. That's all it is. So let's just look and see what that drive is. There's something else that just needs addressing. That's all it was, and that's true because you've gone quiet again.
My signal, is that better? Yeah,
that's better.
I'll move my laptop. I was working with you. It's like you make the investment, you get the results, and layers and layers, and then you might have to go for another session. But it's not like years of counselling, going over the same stuff time and time again. Right? I said, sometimes I said this, it didn't work last time, I don't think it's going to work this time. Straight away, we did something different. And something different came up and that made an instant impact. I weren't waiting years for it, it was instant. So when I knew it was that instant, and now, you know, what we were talking earlier, I just feel that it's really hard to explain how I felt so scared that I was going to be alcoholic and I would stay alcoholic my life and die like some of my family members. But now I just think I don't even think of alcohol in that way anymore. It's like I don't think about it. You know, it's not continually on my mind. And I didn't think that.
You didn't think that was possible? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I didn't think that would ever be possible. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, this is wonderful, isn't it? It's not rehab countless times. It's not come back next week and talk about the pain you're in. Let's get it emotionally released, because there is always an emotional root cause behind the presenting symptoms, whatever the presenting symptoms are.
Yeah, definitely. I would, if you don't know what you don't know, you're not sure, and you've done therapy before, I would definitely say do it. Yeah.
So why specifically working with me? Why is it different? Why specifically me?
Because what you offer is different. It's fairly new to me. I had not read anything or seen anything before until I saw you on Facebook. So I hadn't seen anything before like that. So, and it felt like, I don't know, I felt a connection that it could work. And I think with you, it was like, I didn't feel that ever you were doing a hard sell. But, you know, you were very upfront and honest. This thing can change your life within hours. And, you know, no more than sitting, relaxing and just following what you say. And then you think, this is not going to work, but suddenly you're there, you're just there. And you're like wherever you want to be, you're 7, you're 10, whatever it is, you just seem to be there. And it was like a light bulb moment, just like, yes, I remember that young girl tasting that for the first time, and how that had just stayed with me as something that would make me feel nice when things weren't good. So yeah, that's why I think people would work with you.
Thank you. Yeah, and sometimes it can be instant, sometimes it can be retrospective when you look back and think, oh crikey, I'm behaving differently to how I did. And sometimes it can be a cumulative thing. So everybody experiences it different, but I love it when it's instant, because you've got that, whoa, what happened? You know, it's just beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So is there anything else that you'd like to add, Sam?
No, I think I've said enough. Yeah, just do it.
Just do it. Yeah, it's just beautiful. It's just, and there's no judgment with me either. I often say to my clients, roll the dice again, you're me, I'm you. So it's just, let's just explore it, you know, let's just have a look and see how and where it began, and let's just release it, because you don't want it. That's why you're having a conversation with me, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
That's great. Thank you so much again, Sam. That's just amazing. And it's just a pleasure working with you as well. And I'm just so happy that you've been able to get the results that you absolutely wanted and definitely deserve.